Hey guys, what's going on? This video is a little bit different than things I've done in the past. I know I'm kind of known for doing some guides on Classic WoW and then also having a few PvP videos. But I just wanted to talk about streamers, like big known streamers in Classic WoW, and how that can kind of affect their gameplay as well as the community's gameplay around them. This is by no means an attack on anyone. The clips that you're going to see are just the clips that I had that will kind of help me make my point. I'm not trying to single anyone out. I personally have, like I've said in many of my own streams, I've been a WoW fan of streamers for a huge majority of my time playing the game. I watched Soda Poppin' back on Xfire when he was getting banned every other day, and he was always like, Soda Poppin' 1, Soda Poppin' 2, Soda Poppin', you know, and he was always having to change his username and whatnot. I've watched Sea-Doo back when he first started streaming and he was living with his mom and a pizza delivery boy. I watched Venruki's first stream ever when all of Sea-Doo's viewers were saying that Ven should turn on his stream because they wanted to see a mage point of view. Like I've been around streaming since the very beginning. That being said, I think Classic WoW is a very interesting game to be streaming because it has so many issues within it. Just because a lot of games nowadays that are being made, they know about the streaming culture, and they know kind of they put in safe ways to eliminate some stream sniping, some streamer privileges, benefits, those kind of things. Whereas Classic is, you know, had none of that in mind, and so I think it impacted the game quite a bit. So in these next few clips, like I said, I'm not attacking any certain person, just trying to make a point. Again, these are streamers that I watch every single day myself, and I will continue loving watching their content. I've been a part of a lot of the stuff in the beta so far with these streamers, and it's been a lot of fun. But I myself personally will be staying away from streamer servers in the future, just because I think it changes it doesn't necessarily like ruin, it might actually really enhance some people's enjoyment of the game, but I think it takes away from other people, especially people that are pretty hardcore in terms of how they treat vanilla or classic rather, and how they play the game. So anyways, we're going to get into the footage here, and I'm just going to narrate over some of it and give some commentary. So, Gurubashi Arena. Gurubashi Arena so far in the beta has been a kind of a staple of content. There's been tons of really big, large-scale raids here, which have been tons and tons of fun. I know one of the first huge raids that I was a part of was in Gurubashi, and yeah, it just solidified why we all love World of Warcraft so much. You know, just like a massive battle that lasted a really long time. You have people like S-Fan Stay Safe, Asbin Gold, and all those people on Alliance side that have been putting raids together. Then you have Sony Digital, Sea-Doo, Chance, and Venruki, and all these other people on Horde side that have been putting together Horde side raids as well. Now, early on in the beta, no one really was like, the chest was kind of a focus, but it wasn't like a huge focus. But now that you have an arena tournament coming, or not arena tournament, you have a dueling tournament coming up, some people have been kind of putting a little bit more work to try and get their hands on Arena Grandmaster, as it's going to be allowed in the tournament. And that kind of has, big implications, especially for certain classes that are already kind of weak. So you have classes like mages and warriors and things like that could always use a nice big meaty shield like that to help themselves survive and try and win out against these harder opponents. Personally, I think it's going to be a warlock or a shaman that wins. I think Snuts and Sea-Doo both have a really good shot. I am in the tournament, but we'll see how well I do. It's been a lot of fun so far just playing in the beta, so just being a part of this tournament is going to be awesome. That being said,
No pushback from ally. It doesn't seem it. I don't know. Nobody's really going for the Gurubashi trinket. I wonder who's going to try to go for it after. No, the trinkets on Arena Grandmaster is going to be allowed. As of right now, it seems like it's going to be allowed. Unless a few individuals who didn't put in any effort to get it is going to bitch about it. I mean, so this guy, right, EBN, he might even have the stream open right now. But this guy's complaining in the Discord about the Arena Grandmaster. You showed up by yourself. You're not even asking people to help you. You don't just show up by yourself to the Gurubashi Arena. Like, I don't...
Okay, so like I said again, I'm not attacking anyone personally. This is just an experience I had firsthand with another streamer that I personally really enjoy. So obviously my first comment on the Discord for the dueling tournament was actually in a response to some other people that were kind of complaining about it. And so I jokingly said, yeah, ban the shit out of Arena Grandmaster because I don't have it, you know, and I put it all in caps, and I'm pretty sure everyone took it as a joke. But that being said, I kind of went back and forth with some other people saying like, oh, well, it's only lasts for 20 seconds, so I don't think it's a huge deal. This, that, and the other thing, you know, just kind of normal banter on Discord, and in terms of us trying to figure out a good rule set. And again, it's level 30, and it's just a fun community event, nothing real important. So at the end of the day, I just kind of let it be that. I think one of my last comments was just something to the effect of like, yeah, it's not a huge deal, guys. We're just dueling at level 30. But overall, in my defense, I know Sony on his stream called me out being like, oh, well, what did you expect to get out of it if you're just coming to the arena like Gurubashi all by yourself? And to be honest, I've gotten the last 7 arena trinkets from just coming by myself. I just need a few more, and then I can get the trinket myself. I probably won't get it in time for the tournament, but like I said, that's okay. I'll still try and go for it because it's going to be really helpful in world PvP and situations like that. So I'm still definitely going to get my hands on it eventually. But I guess my point in general was just like, you know, streamers coming out and saying, well, like, we'll just put a group together for it, or, you know, just ask people to come and help. But you have to realize is, I think streamers actually think it's that easy to get groups. But to be honest, when you ask your guild or even some of your friends to come help you out in Gurubashi, a lot of times you're either going to have to roll for the chest because everyone wants it. No one's just going to give it away to you for free, or you're going to have to take turns getting the trinket. So obviously those are ways to do it, but it's actually really hard to get a group to go down and do Gurubashi because not a whole lot of people actually care too much about getting that trinket right now. And that's kind of the feeling I've gotten in the beta so far in general is like, you know, there's lots of times that people are trying to put together groups for these elite quests or things like that. And I've found myself having to get really creative. I'll actually show a clip here of myself and this shaman. You know, thank God I had this shaman help me. He came through big time. He needed the quest as well, so we kind of both helped each other out. But we were at this raptor quest for quite some time, killing the raptors, and then kiting the last raptor boss all the way to Gromgol for the guards to help kill it. So it was super exciting. When I was on stream, like you can go back and watch it. It was actually probably the most fun I've had so far in the beta, is just doing this with this horde shaman, just because my heart was pounding kiting him back. I didn't want him to leash. You know, we had ran him so far. I was starting to run into mana issues towards the end of kiting him. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is when you have streamers who kind of get preferential treatment on certain things, like, you know, they'll set up a dungeon run and they say like, oh, I'm really after, you know, the blue necklace that drops from here. And there might be 3 other people in the group that need it as well, but for whatever reason, they either don't speak up or they're okay with just helping out the streamer get it. And so they all pass, and then he gets it the first run. And so in his mind, he's like, oh, you know, that it wasn't that hard to get that necklace. But in reality, for most of us, like myself, I've seen it drop about 3 times, and I've lost the role every time to another person, which is completely fine. It gives me incentive to keep doing content. It gives me an incentive to keep going back and playing the same content that I've done before. Whereas if you're a streamer and you get, you know, your best in slot gear super early because people are literally mailing it to you or helping you in dungeon runs, or you're forming up a raid to do your whirlwind axe quest. Like, these things all impact, one, they impact how quickly you get done with content and how bored you get early on, and it also impacts how other people feel towards you. I felt myself getting having like a feeling of almost like anger or jealousy towards these people, which is obviously not like healthy, and at the end of the day, I'm enjoying watching their stream, and thousands of other people are enjoying watching their stream. So people donate to them in real life. So what is donating some time in WoW really doing in the end? And the truth is, it's not a big deal. But I do think that it cuts away from some of the content that they could be partaking in, and also just the longevity of how long it takes for them to get geared up or before they become bored. It would be nice to be a streamer who always logs in and finds stuff in their mailbox, from alchemists sending them free action potions, swiftness potions, people trading them gold, people sending them BOE blues that they find out in the world. And now, that being said, would I like that? Yes, obviously. I don't think anyone would complain and say that they wouldn't want that. But I do think the way that Classic is set up, and how, like we've all already talked about, how Classic is a grind. But when you're a streamer and you get perks like this, I do think that it kind of detracts from these things early on. And I do think also when you're highly geared so quickly in the game, and then you kill people or things like that, it detracts a little bit from the feeling of accomplishment. Whereas if you were able to pop a arena grandmaster and win that first world v world, like a big world PvP battle, because you were able to survive because of that trinket, I think it's just the same thing as like a rich kid getting a nice car. They're gonna appreciate it much less than someone who really worked for it. That being said, I'll be trying to stay away from like huge streamer servers, but I do think streamers offer a huge benefit to a lot of the player base. Probably, it's hard to say, but I think a good portion of the PvP battles and PvP raids that we've seen on Tarn Mill versus South Shore, or that amazingly epic first fight over Asmongold getting his whirlwind axe, where we got the crazy clips of Venruki pushing in from the flank and killing everyone. Like, those things were awesome, and I am super happy that I was able to be a part of that, and actually be there and being playing with them. So I do think those kind of things are awesome, that streamers really help to build communities around and kind of oversee events like that happening. But that being said, I do think it will be nice when we have multiple servers on launch where streamers won't all be on one server, because right now this server is pretty much a streamer server meta. It's like 90% of the people that are in the beta are really well-known people that stream or are content creators or have been players for a really, really long time. Now, with all this being said, I know I'm kind of ranting, but I think that once we have streamers split up over multiple servers, I think it's going to be a lot better for the game in general. I think it will cut down on some of the large scale like PvP battles that we see, or the really cool organized things like dueling tournaments and other PvP kind of, I don't know, creations that happen, things that just you don't really have incentive to do otherwise, besides if you see a bunch of other streamers going on about it. So to wrap things up, I guess I don't really know how I want to end this. I just want to end it by saying, I know a really popular video, I think it was by Classic Wins or Mad Season, one of them said try and avoid streamer servers, right? And to be honest, I don't think that's really necessary. I think being on a streamer server could really provide some great benefits in the end. I think there'll be a very healthy community throughout Classic, which is obviously a good thing. And I think that you'll see a lot of really cool community events come from that. Instead, I think streamers themselves should kind of look at the pros and cons of accepting a lot of gear, or kind of taking the perks of being a streamer and throwing them out the window, being like, I want to play just like the rest of you guys. Now, I mean, there's some perks that are never going to go away. When a streamer wants to do a dungeon run, they're always going to be able to find a group fairly fast, and that's fine. I understand that. That's something you can't really like get away from. But I think accepting gold, or taking certain items, whereas when other people need the items, just everyone should roll for them. It's just the way it should be. It's a age-old saying: if you need it, need it. So I guess that's how I'm going to wrap things up. I think being a streamer in Classic WoW has its shortcomings, but also is a great thing as well. It's going to provide awesome stuff for the community. And at the end of the day, being a streamer isn't necessarily easy. They're putting a lot of work. They're helping run community events. And in general, they're taking the time out of their day to entertain us as viewers. And so there's something to be said for that. And I think getting a little bit of extra stuff on the side is always a good thing. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it at there. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I am going to be in the dueling tournament on Sunday. Who knows how it's going to go? There's a lot of really good players in the dueling tournament, and it's level 30. So at the end of the day, we're just going to treat it as it is, just a fun community event. And we'll see you there, and hope you guys can watch it. It should be a lot of fun. All right, see you in the next one, guys.